Alright, so I'm reusing this conduit, coming through into this whisker box here for PIR and a switch line, and then that is going to switch this old light up here, in which I've put a 30-watt LED out through a grommet into the old conduit, which has to be refixed and re-earthed, but that's no problem. So I've tested all the switch lines and the permanent lives for the escape routes, and that's all taken care of. There's another light up here in there with the cores coming out. So now all I'm going to be doing is putting a PIR up here on onto this box and a 20-watt or something LED flood. Well, the sensors aren't working yet because it's not completely pitch dark, but I've finished the lighting. We've got one up there which is 30 watt, one up there which is 30 watts in the old housing, one up there that's 30 watts I think, and one up there that's 50 watts.
Of course, you remember the conditions
now,
that they wanted,
the last three of them,
was that
they can operate off a switch, three-way switch, so they can be on PIR, they can be off, and they can be on permanent on. So that's this switch here. And just to sort of show you, I reused the old conduit, which I now have to earth. So this old conduit, which isn't really earthed yet. Up here, I put new plastic conduit on the end. I sawed off the old metal which came down here. In here as well is a permanent live feed, permanently on, for to charge an escape light, emergency light, so that if the electricity goes off, it will trigger the emergency lights on the steps here. Where they get most of the problem security wise is up this fire escape, so hence I've put the biggest and brightest and meanest light up here. That's the 50 watt there, and that's it. So that was today's work. A socket ring for the restaurant and the outer bar, the office, is showing 0 insulation resistance. In fact, it's showing me between line and earth 20 ohm. So what I think has happened is someone has miswired the earth to the neutral, and I am testing a circuit with something plugged in that's got 20 ohms, which it would be V equals IR, V over R, 230 over 20, 10, something with 10 amps flowing through it, which is quite hefty. Heater, well, I've only got 1 meg on the kitchen ring, 1 mega ohm, and despite this restaurant ring being 30 ohms between line and earth, when I connect it up and turn it on, I've only got 0.65 amps flowing through that ring. That's with everything unplugged, and it's not tripping it's not tripping the RCD, which is potentially because I think if it were flowing back through the neutral, it wouldn't necessarily be tripping it. If it were flowing back through the earth connection, then it would be tripping it. And what I've got is between earth and line 30 ohms. There definitely shouldn't be anything flowing through this ring. So there is something still joined into it. Right, I've switched it off and then on again. When doing that, it goes up to 6 amps. It draws 6 amps, which quickly reduces after about 30 seconds down to about 0.8 milliamps. So 89 milliamps now, but I switched it off before and then back on, and it was drawing 6 amps. Right, so it's 0.59 milliamps now, switched off, switch on, 7 milliamps. So it's not doing that, drawing 6 amps at the moment. On again. No, can't repeat that. That's definitely something joined into it though. Yeah, well I've got it to go up to 8. I left it for a bit, it went up to 300 milliamps, turned it off, turned it back on again, and again I got 6 amps. Okay, so that's off. I turn it on now. 6 amps, there you go. That's 6 amps. Alright, I've traced it down to this. This is actually on the restaurant circuit, the freezers. Again, it's all on these adapters. So there's a 2-plug adapter there. You've got a 4-plug adapter up here somewhere. You've got another one going out through here, up here in that mess of wires. Another 4-plug adapter. There's 2 4-plug adapters down, 3 4-plug adapters there. There's another one, a 4th one here. So there's 4 4-plug adapters on that. I think I might mark that down as a bit of a doo-doo. And then in here as well, I think, although it's a different circuit, yeah, you've got the 4-plug adapters, a 4-plug adapter. It's just, they're all over the place. There's another one there. So I've counted, how many is that? That's 3 here, 4, 5 in there, 8 4-plug adapters. So let's go and see. I'll look at that fridge and see if the plugs are wired correctly, whether it's wired into the neutral or the earth. Would have thought it would trip the LCD, but anyway, I've plugged my tester back in the socket in the office where I was testing from, and we'll do another 100 volt test between line and earth. And it's retested it, and I don't know why, but I've got 1.18 ohms, mega ohms on that ring. There's 1.18 mega ohms on the restaurant ring, which means that I'm going to have to retest more regularly. The other thing is that possibly there's earth leakage happening on these 2 units here, because even when I just plug that in, I think if I just plug it in without switching it on, I got a lower reading. Oh no, I don't. Okay, so 500 volts between them. We're down to 0.32 ohms. Unplug this again. So then everything is unplugged. Don't know if that thing might be off fuse spur there, so maybe we'll take that fuse spur socket out. But yeah, still 0.32. Okay, I found a door down here into a cellar. It's got cables not sufficiently separated from other services. I'm sorry about the joggly camera work, as I am always. So I've got cables coming out of here, although they are coming out of a conduit, a plastic conduit of the type that you'd use for piping water around. It's good heavy stuff. Then it sort of comes in under here and disappears upstairs. So I don't know what to make of that really. But it is a ring. Needs an eye kept on it. It's a bit shoddy, but it's sort of safe. I've turned off that fuse spur there, and now we'll take a reading of this circuit again. About 22 mega ohms, so happy with. Okay, so the summary of the condition of the installation. I've said generally fair state with the proviso of some rather untidy standards of installation cable routing, some deterioration discovered since last EICR, and I add to that discrepancies between the regs and a previous assessment of satisfactory. Example, 6mm submain protected at 100 amps, into a DB2 now disconnected. All board terminations and protective devices were inspected for compatibility, which despite the satisfactory rating in 2011 were found at least 4 cases to be unsuitably mismatched. IR testing on socket rings proved satisfactory, though where tested they have declined significantly since 2011. 20 mega ohms typical in lieu of 200 ohm plus readings in 2011. One obvious shortcoming of the original installation is the paucity of socket provision in the kitchen, pantry, bar and office areas in particular. No fewer than 8 4-way adapters were counted in these areas, although loads on the whole appeared to be electronic, computer equipment and low load items. 1 fan heater and coffee machine percolator were also attached to said adapters, so I am recommending that the restaurant and bar area rings are extended, partially rewired as business allows, with more sockets, at least 12 double sockets incorporated. Next inspection date reason. Very little evidence of DIY alterations and additions having been effected over the last 10 years. Main area of degradation appears to be in the IR readings. I consider it unlikely that this deterioration is due solely to a change in the resistivity of the basic insulation conductors, as experience has revealed that dirt in junction boxes and accessories also play a part in these changes over decades. But a very low but steady IR result in the kitchen ring, 1.16 mega ohm, is most likely to have been due to an undiscovered item of equipment joined to the circuit. Of those IRs that were tested, the decline to about 1/10 to the 20th of its 2011 values is verifiable. Well, it's 8:30 or 8:40 in the evening. Been here all day, and I've completed the EICR on both sides of this restaurant on over 3 Mondays, and I've got a list of remedials which need doing. Amongst them is adding a minimum, I'd say 12 double sockets to the office and bar areas, and there's probably about 10 circuits here to downrate, broken rings and similar, not just broken rings, but you know, no labelling on obviously on any of this. There's only one RCD on the whole board. Broken rings, there's 32 amp breakers on 1mm cable. There's a 16 amp on a 1mm flex. I've got a black conductor going into the top of the MCB. There's a couple of broken MCBs, live parts showing, and yeah, so lighting pretty well all right. I haven't done a huge amount of IR testing at all. I've done no light circuit IRs, but I've sorted out the IR problems I had on all the rings, as you saw. I think I filmed 1 or 2 of them, and so that's taken me 3 days to do 48 circuits EICR. Quite a lot of visual observations. In here, for instance, we've got cables that are not supported in the event of fire from becoming entanglement hazards, and then we've got another mention of excessive spurring of ring final. So there's about 3 or 4 C2s and about 15 C3s on this side, but not for the other side, which will be next Monday. I think I'll probably get round to filling out the reports certificate for next door. 2, 3, 4, 5 dBs, 5 6s, 30, £300 plus 48 times 20, £300 times plus 800, 900. It's about £1,200, the EICR. Well, thanks for watching. Curate's egg of an EICR there. I've done the paperwork, so there were 4 reports. So, no, three reports. Oh yeah, and the flat above, which I did. I'll just show you the quote that I've done, where I've only quoted £289 or something for all the C2s. So that surprises me a week later. So here are the figures. For 20 off emergency escape lights and fitting, £1,491. For the C2s, which there were 2 of, £287.50. It looks like about a day's work with materials. The whole lot, obviously, £16.39. Not too bad, really. All the C2s and C3s, which includes work and materials to correct all C2s and C3s in reports not obligatory, close brackets, including additional sockets and full additional protection and surge protection, along with rewiring of garden circuits to BS76, some new boards, and yeah, so that'll have new boards and a bit of rewiring as well. 10,800. So I just read through the C2s and C3s, and we'll have a look at what the C2s were. Yeah, 35 C2s and C3s in the restaurant. C2s, I've got cable entry, no grommet. Not really a C2, is it? Cable entry into office socket inadequate. Switch fuse spur in ladies' lavatory not fixed to wall. Broken sockets, which I MCBs mismatched with, which I replaced. MCBs mismatched. So that's why it's not very much. And the bar, I've only got 5 things mentioned. 1 C2, we've got some further investigation. We've got 3 further investigation, which is during remedials, check out that all the bonding and labels are in place. Check for mixed colours warning label. Okay. Label we need placing at CU. So that's all labelling, further investigation. Cracked socket, exterior bar area, replace that. C3 RCD not provided to all circuits on DB1. So there you go. But 35 on the other side where the main kitchen was. Yeah. Anyone else done emergency lighting jobs? I'd be keen to see. Just draw my attention to if you've got some videos a video of that, I'd be keen to look at it. And see you in the next video, which will be very soon.